Meet Sarah, 29 years old, ICU nurse on nights, $87,000 a year. At hospital orientation, half asleep, she skipped exactly one form in the stack. That single skipped form was worth $427,000. This is the most expensive checkbox in the building, and most nurses walk right past it. The form was her hospital's 403B, a retirement account that comes attached to the job, like the badge and the parking pass. The bedside version. Money leaves your paycheck before taxes ever touch it and gets invested automatically. You never have to think about it again. But here's the part Sarah missed completely. Her hospital matches contributions. For every dollar she puts in, they quietly add another 50 cents on top. The match runs up to 6% of her salary. It is not a bonus and not a perk. It's part of her pay she has to claim. Skip the form, and the hospital simply keeps that money. On Sarah's salary, that's about $2,600 every single year left sitting on the table. And Sarah has plenty of company. 1 out of every 4 workers with a match leaves that money behind. Look around your unit and count off by 4. Sarah has been one of the 4 for 7 years now. Every payday, a little more match money expires. Quietly. No alarm, no notification, no second chance. Nobody steals this money. There's no villain and no fine print trick. People just never fill in the form, and the offer quietly expires every payday. Think about that on a hospital floor. Nurses who calculate drip rates at 3 a.m. are donating free money back to their employer. So what does skipping actually cost? Not the yearly number. That one sounds survivable. The real number is what compounding turns it into. Watch. Retirement money doesn't add up. It compounds, growth earning growth, year after year. That's why small differences at the start become enormous differences at the end. Run Sarah's numbers. $700 a month of her own money invested at the market's historical average return after inflation for 30 years straight. The result? About $854,000 in today's money. Steady contributions, no stock picking, no luck, just time. Now add the match, the checkbox. Same $700 from Sarah, not one extra shift worked. The account reaches $1.28 million. The difference is $427,000. That is what the skipped form costs. One signature at orientation, half asleep at 7 a.m. The match moves the finish line too. With it, Sarah crosses 1 million in today's dollars, around age 56 instead of 61, 5 years earlier. 5 years of her one life returned to her for 15 minutes of paperwork. There is no overtime shift that pays anywhere close to that. Notice what the math just proved. A millionaire on a nurse's salary isn't a miracle. It's arithmetic, plus time, plus one form. To be clear about the fine print, historical average, after inflation, not guaranteed. Markets swing, but this is the math the patient money has always won. Which raises the obvious question. If the money is free and the math is this lopsided, why would anyone, let alone a quarter of workers, skip it? Nobody skips free money out of laziness. Sarah skipped hers at 7 in the morning, coming off a 12-hour night shift, 40 forms deep into onboarding. The form's actual heading, elective deferral election. The industry writes this language like it's trying to lose you, and it succeeds constantly. And who explains this online? Finance bros, promising Lamborghinis. Nurses tune that out, sensibly. But the noise drowns the good math, too. Some nurses wait until the student loans are gone first. Some assume you need to understand stocks before you start. Some assume you have to hire an advisor. Meanwhile, the pattern nationally? Most lower-paid workers at match jobs don't participate at all, while nearly half of all match dollars flow to the highest earners. The system pays whoever fills in the form. It doesn't check your credentials, your confidence, or your timing. It checks one box, enrolled or not enrolled. And the form is easier than any med calculation Sarah does before breakfast. That's the maddening part. The barrier is an illusion with a fancy heading. Sarah's reason was simpler than all of these. Nobody ever told her what the match was worth. $2,600 a year, and the orientation took 90 seconds on it. If this video does one thing, let it be this. Tomorrow, ask HR one question. Am I getting the full match? 5 words, potentially 6 figures. But the 403B is only half of what's in Sarah's benefits packet. There's a second account in there, one almost nobody ever opens. Buried below the 403B, a 457B. Most hospital workers have never heard of it. Most HR intros never reach it. Here's why it matters. The IRS treats the 457 as a completely separate bucket with its own separate contribution limit, not shared, separate. In 2026, you can put $24,500 into each account. Stack them, and that's $49,000 a year of tax advantage space. Double the ceiling most people think exists. For a high-earning year, heavy overtime, a big differential, that second bucket is where the extra can hide from taxes. And the 457 has a superpower the 403B doesn't. Leave your job, and you can reach the money without the usual 10% early withdrawal penalty. For a nurse who might step away from the bedside at 45, burnout is real. That's the early exit account. Flexibility the regular accounts don't offer. But here's the catch that never makes the brochure, and it decides everything. It depends entirely on what kind of hospital signs your paycheck. At a nonprofit hospital like Sarah's, the 457 is non-governmental. Legally, the money stays the hospital's property until it's paid out. If the hospital ever went bankrupt, its creditors could reach that account. And when you leave, it can't roll into an IRA. Different rules entirely. At a county or state hospital, the same account is held in trust, protected, rollable. Same name, very different animal. One question to HR settles which you have. So here's Sarah's entire fix, in the order that matters. Write this down. It's shorter than a med pass and worth more than most raises. Step 1. Enroll in the 403B up to the full match. That's the only guaranteed 50% return in all of finance. Claim it first. Step 2. Pick the target date fund closest to your 65th birthday. Professionally managed, automatically rebalanced, boring on purpose. Boring wins here. Step 3. Set your contribution as a percentage of pay, not dollars, and nudge it up 1% each year. Your raises quietly do the saving. The 457 comes only after the match is fully claimed, and at a nonprofit, only if the employer looks rock solid and your time horizon stays short. After the match, the next stop is a Roth IRA, money that grows and comes out tax-free. That's its own episode, coming soon in this series. Sarah did all of this on a Tuesday afternoon, on her phone, in the break room. 15 minutes, start to finish. No advisor, no jargon, no fees. Her timeline officially updates today. Enrolled at 6%, full match captured, target date fund selected. First automatic contribution hits next payday. Net worth, still minus $54,000. The loans don't vanish because a form got signed. But the line just changed direction. It's pointing up now. That evening, Sarah did what she always does. Poured a coffee before her shift, forgot it, and drank it cold at midnight. Some habits survive every blueprint. For 7 years, her retirement plan was 5 words. I'll figure it out next year. Tonight, in a break room, next year finally arrived. Nothing visible changed. Same apartment, same loans, same 12-hour nights. If you passed her in the hallway, you would never know anything happened at all. In 2 weeks, the first contribution lands, and the match lands with it. Then again, and again. A machine working every hour she works. Sarah didn't become wealthy today. She simply gave future Sarah a chance, a 56-year-old she hasn't met yet, who will remember this exact Tuesday. Future Sarah gets the compounding. Tonight's Sarah gets the cold coffee, the night shift, and one quiet checkbox that finally, after 7 years, says yes. The line on her chart points up now, slowly, almost invisibly. That's how real wealth moves. It never announces itself. It just begins. This week's homework, nurse to nurse. 5 words for HR tomorrow. Am I getting the full match? Ask it, then come back. Next Tuesday, travel nursing. Why that $95 an hour contract isn't what it looks like, and what Jessica discovered when she finally read her pay package.